game.
Previously on the Dark Heresy.
Episode 61. Flame Tank. Sex Rocket. Drug Sandwich.
Sandwich.
The trade expedition bartered with Captain Marshall, and they managed to offload their stock of hides for a small profit and debated the purchase of a flamer arsenal. Alexa's eyes lit up at the prospect, and it was as if small flames could be seen reflected in her inbuilt photo contacts. Malevolence had now run down nearly their entire stock of trade commodities. But then they started squabbling again. They could agree on nothing. Perhaps Inquisitor Lucius was wrong to trust them with this critical task. Perhaps this was another example of his seemingly insane decision-making. Bolters, flamers, something else. They couldn't agree. They argued and squabbled. And it seemed as if Arnold was being particularly obstructive. Even for Arnold. They did manage to agree on buying the experimental flame tank. Groovy, said Captain Marshall. The tank was a steal. He was practically giving it away. But did they need a tank? Nixius foresaw that a ground army would be necessary at some stage. Was it the prescience? Was it metagaming? The ability to glimpse into the future no longer seemed limited to the likes of the Magister and the Shepherd. It was seemingly commonplace. A disturbing development. A mad ship chosen by fate. Quintius had made the case. He had made the argument. Some things you simply have to seize when the opportunity arises. Flame tank. A wonderful combination of words, like sex rocket or drug sandwich. Was for Johnny. Sensible plan was to finish their reconnaissance, treat with the last of the large traders, and see what was on offer. And once, when they knew all that was available to them, then, only then could they make a fully informed decision. But Alexa could not hide her disappointment. She wanted the flamethrowers now.
I want them and I want them now, Daddy.
When do we want flamethrowers?
No!
Time was flying by. Time was flying by. Soon they would leave Ridge Station. It only just felt like a moment since they had arrived. Only a moment since they had waged a war, an orbital assault upon the swamp world and decapitated the heretic family that ruled the bayou. Soon they would fly back towards the miasma. The expedition had arranged to treat with mercenary outfits, and they headed back to their designated bay. En route, they were intercepted by none other than Captain Crunch of the Home Sweet Home. Quintius despised the Styrics and had engineered to avoid them completely. Crunch seemed wise to this tactic and had clearly arranged this little engagement to prevent his offerings from being so easily dismissed. Styrics' recycled goods, although cheap, held little appeal. There was an element of intimidation and threat to Captain Crunch's offers of trade. The Styrics seemed better outfitted than station authority should allow, and the acolytes seemed aware of their vulnerability. Arnold's bloodlust gave way to tactical sense, but it had been so long since he had seen combat. Nixius perused the Styrics' wares and found there to be a loophole, something to exploit, an underpriced feedstock, metallic ores that, if processed in engineering, could yield a high return. The numbers did not lie. Nixius was convinced that this was something to be pursued. He was certain. His words, his entreaties to buy this ore stream, fell upon deaf ears. The expedition pushed past the Xenos, and they left behind. And back at their bay, they received an update from Laura Skysinger, who seemed pleased with their progress. The logistics were in hand, and the trade wares were all of the described quality. Next, he would entertain an envoy from the Marauders, a mercenary army for hire. Later that night, there was an occurrence upon the Malevolence. The Ripper struck again. Yuri attended the crime scene with Gibby in tow. Gibby scanned the scene. His ever-present smile never faded. And he sent the brutal pics to Courtney, who perused them over a cup of coffee with cream. The face of the victim, Eleanor, was untouched. Witch felt the need to attend in person. And once there, she read the vision in the disemboweled parts of the young cook who was killed so brutally before her time. Yuri's suspicion had been correct, for the young cook Eleanor had been lured down below decks. Tryst. The commissar, was beginning to build up a profile of the killer. The bodies of the other victims were to be brought out from the freezers and placed side by side for examination. Courtney would interview Eleanor's colleagues who had seen her last. Courtney also woke Nathaniel, the data adept, and drafted him in service once again. He seemed happy to assist. He enjoyed a puzzle to be solved. He shared Courtney's distaste for the serial killer. Such things could not be tolerated, even on board the Malevolence. Jan did not attend in person. He was available on comms if needed. Rest would serve him better, and he had more important his time, the law enforcement. He slept in containment. The demon axe, the book of lies, close by. Such hubris to sleep amongst these artifacts. Jan knew that his mind was a fortress, but he was not the first to believe themselves immune to the insidious nature of chaos. He would not be the last. The shepherd still warped fate for seemingly frivolous matters. He did not fear. Some lessons were only learnt the hard way. Okay, guys? Make a start on today's game. I'd like to make a start with Cell 54. Or what kind of passes for Cell 54 these days. So I'd like to make a start on the Malevolence at the beginning of day 3. So everyone wakes up at the start of day 3. So earlier that night, you were woken up and you inspected the murder scene after the Ripper had struck again. So Courtney will wake up in her room, Yuri will wake up in his room, and Jan will wake up in containment. Now I just want to start, please, if I can, with Jan.
Wagwan, DM.
Wagwan, brother.
I was ready for that.
Some things are comforting, some constants we can rely upon. Okay, so Jan, you slept in containment, and you've got a little room there, and wake up in the morning. You've had a reasonable night's sleep. You're now fully recovered and rested. I don't know if you've taken any wounds. I don't think so. Let's just check. Let's have a little look. Yeah, so anyone who gets a decent night's sleep, which is all 3 of you this minute, you'll get a wound back. Jan, you're already at full wounds, so that doesn't matter. So you wake up about your chamber. The containment is normally bustling with some people. There's a squad of inquisitorial guards who are stationed here, led by Sergeant Lars. There's normally a small variable number of engineers who are constantly, chittering around here and seeing to the room itself and the containment of the items and security as well. So there's normally, at any given time, as a general, there's no less than 10 people who are stationed in containment at any given time. And sometimes when the engineers ascend en masse, there can be quite a lot more. Seems to be some sort of commotion in containment yard. And as you head out of your little chamber, you see none other than the pyromancer Jagannatha, who is also one of the regulars in containment. I'm just going to put you onto page Jagannatha. Okay. And Jagannatha is, as usually seems to have taken to just floating around. It's been a while since you've seen his feet touch the floor. And he seems to be just floating across containment, past the various these massive cylinders, only one of which is full of molten lead at the minute, and that's the one that contains the Demon Axe. And you see Jagannatha, he's floating towards you, and he seems to be heading your way.
Wagwan Jagannatha.
Jagannatha floats up to you. And
This
he
is
pauses.
floating, man. You're gonna lose the use of your legs soon.
Jagannatha says, "Do not worry about me. I never skip leg day." All right. He goes, "Wagwan, Shepherd." He says to you, do you respond?
Well, yeah, that's said
Yeah.
Wagwan to him because he was
Yes.
floating over.
Yeah, so he says anything to you. Do you, I say he says the same to you. So do you, and he says he's just floating in front of you, looking at you. He's got a slight smile upon his face, as he usually does. But for the most part, his face is impassive.
What you doing in the chaos pen, man?
He says, "I have come for you. There is a burden I must place upon you, Shepherd. The Orpheans, we have taken many of them on board, and amongst them are many who have been blessed with the ability to touch the warp and to control it. More and more are being discovered.
Their home planet is full of freaks, man.
Yes, this is so. I have taken several of these Orpheans on as apprentice, and I try to shield them as best I can against the dangers of the warp, protect them from the entreaties of the creatures of the other side, of which you are aware are a great danger, but they have no sanctioning from the Emperor, as you understand."
Far out, is it? What's he gonna do?
Send good nights after us.
Yeah, well then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, he's literally going to do that. Okay, so so he pauses for a moment. Jan, do you say anything?
Let me read between the lines, man. Who you giving me?
Yes, you see into future. This is known. I have too many of these creatures to look after myself. I wish to put one into your care.
Jan casts metamancy.
Now,
This is why I really like having
right.
this kind of Resident vibe where anyone can metagame because I just say that they foresaw it in the fucking tea leaves or something.
Psycho's
Kind of works, doesn't it?
perfect
Kind of
for it,
works,
isn't
doesn't
it?
it?
You can get away with all sorts.
Get away with everything. It's a perfect fudge. He goes, yes, you already know what I'm about to tell you. I wish to put one of his Orpheans into your care. His name is Bew Barnaby. He is of little power, but he may be of use to you and to your studies and to your objectives.
This isn't another demonologist who's gonna vanish through walls, is it, man?
Well, Tommy Lee is special case. There are none like Tommy Lee. Unique.
No cheese neither, man. Me
I'll also put this to
only
you.
got aroma in this place.
I put this to you. If this creature does turn to warp or show any signs of deviancy or heresy, I encourage you to put an end to him yourself. Consider him completely and utterly expendable.
I already did, man.
And then with that, Jagannath breaks out into a hearty laugh. You're right, and then so Jagannath he doesn't say anything. He doesn't seem to go to his comm speed or anything. But you see someone start to shuffle through the door to containment. It's a Orphean. He shuffles into the room. He's accompanied by a couple of Inquisitorial guard. And Hayden, I would like you please to describe your character to.
He's
Games.
a ginger, 5'5", shaved, so like short number one ginger hair, but with a bushy handlebar cheek mustache. The bottom of his chin shaved. He wears big round glasses, formal bayou wear, so like he's got quite dirty skin, and he looks like a complete geek.
It sounds like it.
And
Let's see what he
He's
can
a
do.
slight of build, skinny.
yes, you. And he turns to you. Jagannath turns to you, and he's hovering. And he turns to you, and he says, "Bew, remember what I say. Listen to the shepherd. Learn what he can teach you, and make no nuisance of yourself. Remember that your life is in his hands. And also, remember Oracle. Remember the Commissar. Remember what happened. Do not make the same mistake."
They do not make eye contact with the commissar, sir. Sir.
Very good. Very good.
It won't save
Now.
you.
Very good, Bew. I expect to hear good things from Shepard. Do not make me disappointed in this decision.
Well, thank you very, very much, sir.
Good. Good. I shall leave you now with your new master. And Shepard, I leave you with your new apprentice. As I say.
Acolyte.
And with that, Jagannath again, he gives a little smile, and then he starts to hover away.
Is he literally hovering?
Yeah, he seems to be floating around everywhere he goes now.
Frivolous
All right.
use of the warp.
Frivolous use of the warp, hey?
Swimming around the aisles.
Yeah, he just floats his way out of containment. It's just kind of a steady kind of float. But yeah, there's a certain power to just floating around everywhere. You know what I mean? It's showing off somewhat.
It's a statement, isn't it?
It's a statement. It's a statement. That's exactly what he's doing.
I'm a chaos sorcerer.
It's
Behold.
I am casually using my powers for the simple act of moving from A to B. Fucking get on your feet and walk, peasants. That's what
pretty much
that's
it.
what it's a statement of.
Worship
It's just
music.
it's just like twisting fate every time, because you don't want to fail a dice roll for
Yeah.
every single time, is
Wait.
it? It's just the same thing. Wait!
Does he have? Is he wearing trousers or is he wearing robes?
Yeah, he wears like robes, and now you can't necessarily see. He might be wearing trousers under the robes for all you know.
Right,
That's
I have
never
a
been
side mission of
that's
my
never
own.
been discussed.
Let's have a look under that
Yeah.
robe.
Mirrored
See
floor.
what's really
Mirrored
going on.
floor.
He's got
See
antique
what's
grav
going
under
on.
there or something.
Yeah.
He's just
Okay.
he's several servo skulls in a suit with a fake head.
Okay. So, guys, if I can just have a moment then. So, Jan and Bu, you are alone in containment now at the minute. It's the beginning of day 3. It's about, let's say, 8:30 in the morning of day 3 after arriving at Ridge Station. Jan, you've had an Orphean dumped upon you again. Well, actually, no, it was fucking. Tommy Lee was dumped upon Nixios, but we are seeing a bit of a recurring trend here. But it has been stressed to you that this one, if he is to cause you any trouble, you just simply to deal with it as you see your fit.
That's what you said last time.
Yeah, and he got that's exactly what I said last time, and you did. So I'm noticing a recurring theme. What am I to do? Anyway, so I'll give you to
Alex informed me that this character is completely expendable, so do what you will.
Just get it over with, James. Just do it now. Before he causes any trouble.
Yeah, so just to metagame a bit, guys. So now you all know that obviously Cletus is still in play, but obviously I don't want Hayden to feel completely left out when you guys are doing things. So we made him another character so he can not be left out. But equally, he's not really on the same sort of tier as some of the other characters, but hopefully he can still role play and still get involved and still contribute. If you do want to slaughter him, though, I don't think anyone is going to lose any sleep, and then we'll be forced to get Hayden to roll a less offensive, an NPC until he finally plays nice. Hey, what? Sorry?
We did this guy by the dice.
Yeah, we did do this guy by the dice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
brownie. We had to come back with a few rolls.
Somehow, I feel like Hayden now has meta knowledge even more because now he literally has a man on the inside.
Well, that's the thing. He already kind of was listening in anyway, right? But what we also to meta is what we can't do is obviously have scenes where Bu is kind of getting information too much about Cletus. We can't have him working against Cletus in a sense.
Yeah.
So there'll be a bit of fudging here, but this is mainly to stop Hayden from being left out, getting bored,
sense.
and then falling asleep because he's not getting involved. So. So anyway, yeah. So and hopefully, but maybe Bu will grow and warm in time anyway. So who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Who knows if he lives?
Push him into a ball, James. Crush him. No,
So I would like.
it gets out of hand.
So Jan, you were sat here in studying containment. There's this kind of awkward, nervous-looking Orphean. It looks a bit of a nerd in front of you. What are you doing?
Yo, man. My name is Jan. Now, why don't you take me to where you live? Because you can't be hanging out in here, man. This place is a bad place, man, for real.
I technically don't really have anywhere to live. I'm in the living quarters, the back of the ship.
In the what quarters?
The living quarters, the shared living quarters. I'm not in the Orphean base anymore.
Living quarters, huh?
I think at the minute you've recently been staying. There's some rooms given over to Jagannath. Jagannath has been kind of recruiting various people, and he's kind of got some shared quarters for kind of his waifs and strays that he's drawing in. So they've kind of been elevated from the Orphean quarters, and yeah, he's kind of got his own. He's got a bit of space. So what would you? Jagannath gave you an impression that you'd be staying here with Jan, and that this will be your new home. That's the impression he gave you.
Yeah. He doesn't really know how to answer this without maybe offending Jan.
Yeah. Say what you want to say, mate, or failing that, keep quiet.
Jagannath mentioned that I might be of use to you over time, and I'll probably staying down here associated with you. You could just shove me in the corner of the room somewhere. I won't be no trouble, sir.
You'll be no trouble, man, because the demons, they come in through you and then fuck with me. Chaos artifacts. So you're not staying here, man. You're a fucking
Well,
liability.
then, I would much appreciate somewhere
Well,
to sleep.
so just here's one thing, Jan. You actually still have a room yourselves. It's cell 53's room. There's no one staying in there currently apart from Jeeves.
Oh, okay, yeah, man. Follow me. I go walking.
Then he followed you.
Okay, so he followed you. So you both of you walking along the corridor. So the minute you're in the underdecks, which is a mainly abandoned part of the district of the ship, and you start to walk, towards some of the transit hubs, which will bring you up to the upper decks.
As I walk, I get my data pad out and see if I can map the area I'm going to, so I remember it.
Okay, all right, very good. So let's have a roll to see. So what I'd like you to make, please, Bew. Let me just get up your character sheet.
Pure.
Is it pronounced Bew or Bow?
Is it Bew or Bow, mate? You tell me. Sorry.
View.
Bew or Bow? Bew. Yeah. Okay.
View.
Oh!
Bew. I'd like you to make an intelligence test, please. Plus, I'd like to make an intelligence test at plus 30, please. Bew.
Okay. Call me whatever you like, sir. I'm here to work with you. Oh no, done that thing.
So, Bew, you are pretty sure you're a smart cookie, and you're with the use of your data pad, and you do have sort of access to various kind of ship systems. You are able to be reasonably confident that you can trace your steps and what have you. So Jan, you're taking him back to your own chamber. Is that correct?
Yeah, will do.
So then, Jan, sir, what sort of jobs do you need me for? I'm quite good at administration.
Hmm. What kind of clearance you got, man?
I have been cleared to use the ship's systems more than I understand my other Orphean brothers. Also, I'm able to carry a handgun for personal protection due to my slight size.
Okay. Well,
Aganap has given me these little bonuses, which is quite nice because I do love this new fangle fancy data slate. Much better than my old Amstrad XCX Imperium 5.
can he, would he be able to help with figuring out the ley lines on the ship?
Okay, so I'm not sure. Well, let's see. So you are basically so to meta game a little bit here. So, well, actually, no, I'll keep my copy shut.
Okay, if he wants to, what the ley lines? The psychic ley lines.
Well, so James, I think you're asking out of character here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of more asking Al, really, if...
Okay, so basically, what it is he is a Bew is he's basically a minor psyker in the sense that he's got some minor psychic powers. He's also got some background in sort of tech and what have you. So he might well be able to assist you. So because he's a psyker, he can assist you with this sort of thing. And the whole point of this character is to be able to give you someone, not only for someone so he's not left out, but also someone who can assist you with some of your tasks. So I would say that he can do that. Part of let's say things like Psyniscience and what have you.
Okay, so can we have a map of the ship? Let me figure out how far he is away. I might have to requisition him nearer waters.
Also, so you've got a reasonable amount of authority on the ship as well. So it's not like if you need to draw upon various authority levels yourself. If you want to try and get a little space from somewhere nearby to where you are, you can do. I understand why you don't want him around the artifacts. That makes perfect sense.
Move him
Yeah, it makes sense.
quarters. He can live in
It makes
toilets.
Well, there's four perfectly good beds.
Hey, he can have
So-
a toilet. Curl up on the floor by the urinal or something. Make him a little bed.
Nothing says good night's sleep like sleeping in the urinal, Dave.
Quincy
a spirit, Dave.
Quincy starts making sure everyone has plenty of water to drink before bedtime.
All right. So,
Terrible.
well, what I'm going to do, if I'm going to leave you two, while you two are walking back to this cell. So, is that what you're going to do for your day 3? That's your kind of task that you have for your next project, if you like, James, that you're interested in pursuing, as in the ley lines on the ship. Yeah.
Yes, we should have had a bit of time done on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm interested in getting that done at the earliest
Okay, yeah,
opportunity.
no, that's fair enough. So, just while you're talking, I'll come back to it in a minute. So, what I want to also do is, before we spent a little bit of time here, is also go on to the other two here. Now, unfortunately, this little bit, it's going to be a little bit of a split situation, which you can't really avoid. It's the nature of the beast. And so, I wanted to, Yuri and Alexa, this is what I've got down for you two at the minute. So, I think both of you on tracking down the serial killer.
I'm
Courtney rather, and Yuri, sorry. So I believe, if I'm correct, Yuri wants to be in the med bay, he wants all the bodies out, and he wants to be studying there, whilst Alexa wants to interview the colleagues of the cook who was recently killed. Is that correct? Is that what that's my memory of what happened in the last game. I just want to check that's still the case. That's still what you want to do on your day 3. Yeah. That's basically what I'm getting at here is what people are doing on their day 3 of power play, day 3 after Ridge Station. So it's looking like James is working on the ley lines, and you two are working on serial killer duty. Is that?
Yeah. So Connie's just going to go and question all the known associates of the lost victim.
Okay.
And then just go from there, and then probably try and get Nathaniel to investigate known associates of the previous victims.
Mm-hmm.
Set them up together a list ready for an interview. So we'll do it that way.
I was going to suggest that.
Okay. Okay. So I just wanted, that's my understanding. So I'll go back to Jan and Hayden out in a minute. So what I'll do is we'll split tonight's game will probably be split up into 3 little bits on the cell 54. So we'll start with Jan and Bew where we were. So you're walking back to the cell and you wanted a map of the ship itself. Is that right?
Yeah. We know how close cell 54 places to this, and if it's too far, then we'll just requisition.
Did you want to ask me because I've got my data slate on me?
Oh, a good idea, man. You may be worth
And
something.
I'm literally mapping the ship at the moment, so I've got the ship's map up.
Sacrifice him to me. Sorry, no.
What was that?
No, nothing. I didn't say anything.
Let's go. I have a ship's map up here, sir. If it's any use to you, I can route
Okay, so if I just so you bring so Bew brings up on the data site map of the ship. So here I'm just put you on to excuse me, roll 20 map of the ship, which is the mid decks. So if you look at where the purple box is, that is cell 53's chamber. So you're roughly in the mid port side of the ship. Now the containment is more. Let me get a drawer out. It's more towards the fore of the ship, and it's in the underdeck. So where I've just put this red cross, that's the rough location of containment. But it's actually several, many decks down into this kind of warren that is below decks. So if you want a length for the ship, I can bring that up.
No, it's all right. Why don't we? These number 7s. Are they quarters?
You bring that up.
I imagine.
Yeah, number 7's a living quarters. So.
Okay.
You could represent him. You could requisition him.
Yeah, may as well get him next door.
Okay. So
we need to call him.
Okay, so what you do, Jan, is you use your authority to try and requisition some living quarters, at the fore end of the ship. Now, it's not actually that difficult in the sense that the crew is running on a skeleton crew anyway, or rather, the ship is running on a skeleton crew anyway. So it's not that difficult to find that you can either move people out of, or that you can find something for them. So that can be arranged, we'll say. So rather than taking him back to your own chambers, use your authority to try and get him a room, or rather, you get some people chucked out of a room. So Bew, you'll end up with a room which should sleep 8 people, and it's quite, it would be quite packed and tight for 8 people, but you'll have the room pretty much to yourself.
Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, man.
I'm a bit of a researcher in my spare time, Mr. Shepherd. If that's any use to you, any skills like that. I know also.
There is something me interested in researching. You've done a little work on it. Let me explain it to you, and I'll talk about how I think that the ship is kind of possessed of ley lines, and that we need to. I need to map them out now. I don't know how he's going to help me in that task. I think
Would anything like that be useful as, say, like Forbidden Law? Give me a second. Let me go to.
Yeah, I think Forbidden Law Warp is one of those that kind of comes
Forbidden
into
Law
play.
Warp. I've got Stylistic Law
yeah.
Legend.
So I think it's more. I think more. It's more. The warp is more one that it'd be involved with here. And
stay with it.
Yeah, I think the other one is So I think the two main ones are like Forbidden Law Warp is probably the right one, I would say, for this. How I see it, it's kind of lines of warp energy, lines where the barrier between the physical realm and the immaterium is thinnest. So where kind of almost like warp energy is more readily drawn upon. So kind of Forbidden Law Warp and Psyniscience are two skills that are most relevant here. So yes, he will be able to assist because he's a psyker, James.
Cool. Then get to it then.
Okay, so that's going to be your day 3 task then, right? So what I'm going to ask for, let me just get I'm going to make some notes. Fuck you guys.
This character to be yours. Aid Browning.
I'm an organised GM.
Your aid.
Very helpful.
Yes, Hayden can make a helpful character, can't he? Not just a troll, Hayden.
this is secret Hayden.
Secret Hayden.
Sort of Hayden which won't get his frying pan out because his cat's in front of the cupboard and I don't want to disturb his food because he'll go, I'm not fucking eating that game, my man's touched it once. So, because he's a cat.
So, just 1 minute. So, we're going to go day 3, power play. So, I think the abilities here are Forbidden Law Warp, or it's probably the most sensible one, or Psyniscience. So I'm going to let both of you make a roll here. So in essence, you are contributing to Yarn's power play and supplementing it with your own rolls. So you'll be going up and down the ship, trying to help map these ley lines of which Yarn speaks, and and it's quite easy for you to kind of understand what he's saying, because there are certain, as you move across the ship and Yarn kind of shows you what he's looking for, it's easier to draw upon the warp in certain parts of the ship. So it makes sense what he's saying, and you can assist with him quite readily. So I'd like both of you to make a roll here for your day 3 of power play, please. Where are we? Yarn and Aiden, if you'd be so kind.
Will my Forbidden Law What, be an intelligence test or a...
Is it not in your? Did I not put it into your character sheet, buddy?
I've got
Let me have-
Science.
I think
No,
I've
I
not
can't.
put it in, mate. Let me.
No,
It will be.
no.
It will be. I've terribly missing, mate. So
You know,
forbidden.
just use the first skill, which nobody ever thinks you're going
But-
to use. Like, yes.
But yeah, it's it's an intelligence based one. So I think Science is actually perception, if I remember
I've
correctly.
got Science
Yeah, so-
on here.
Yeah. So I've just put that on, and I've put Forbidden Law Warp on as well. Make sure you definitely have it.
Yep. I'll make a roll. No bonus, yeah?
It's a little think. No, it'll be a straight roll. So this is one of them. It's a power play roll. So even if you fail it, you'll still contribute, but you don't fail. So you get an extra. So you're basically adding 2 degrees in total. So you get 1 as basic, and you've got an extra degree there. So right, so plus 2 degrees from Bu. Jan, I'd like you to make your roll as well, please, if you haven't already.
Use the Emperor's Tarot.
Okay, so remind me how that works, please. You've linked it before.
Once per game
can't remember.
session, Psycho may read the portents of the Emperor's Tarot. Psychic power roll threshold of 12. If I succeed, I've defined the truth of the situation, reading the strands of time to see a fragment of the future and past at once. Make a single common law, scholastic law, or forbidden law test, treating the skill as trained, and if I have the skill, I can re-roll the test.
Okay. All right. So, Jan, so whereabouts are you doing this tarot? Are you going to do it? Whereabouts do you intend to read the tarot?
I will go to the what do they call the deck where you look out into the stars?
The orrery.
Yes.
Okay, so you head to the orrery, and that's where you're going to read the tarot.
Yeah.
And have you got Bu in tow with you at this point?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So Bu, you witness what the shepherd's up to here.
Death by what powers?
Okay, so I'd like you then, please, to make your Emperor's Tarot roll. You did link this to me before. I don't know where you linked it to me. Did you link it in Discord? Or did you link it to me on Messenger? Or I know you sent it.
I know
Ah,
what
it's
to
Discord.
do. So, before I do that, I should have done the power. What do they call it?
Torpedoes locked!
I think I remember.
Yeah, let me indicate.
Ah, okay, yep. I think I remember where you put it. Don't know where you linked it.
Fucking hell.
Fire right now! Leave their hull strewn across the stars! Macro cannons, volley!
Okay, so is that a... Oh,
Yeah,
something here then.
I do that.
What's up, James? What are you up to?
Fire!
I need to re-roll the invocation.
Okay.
Another
I have to
salvo!
use a fate point on that. There we go.
Okay. All right. So you...
that would be a pass. Because it would be plus 15. So 17.
Okay. Right. So... So does the Emperor's Tarot require a roll? Now there's
It
like
does,
a
yeah, it still requires a roll, but because I have warp, I can re-roll it with the Emperor's
Okay.
Tarot.
Right.
Whoa! Oh, I just used my fucking fate point. Oh,
Well,
may as
well,
well.
Yeah, I mean, James, I don't know if you recall there's something else I put to you. Do you recall what I said to you before?
Skill. You can re-roll it.
I'll send you a little messenger, James. I'll send you a little messenger.
Strewn across the stars! Macro cannons, volley! Fire the lance!
Sent you a thing in Messenger, James. If you recall.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll add +10 to that then.
Okay, very good. Okay, so the tarot, you drew out the tarot, and Bew, you watch on with some. I mean, Yarn, you can't really make much sense of it. It looks like he's almost like he's playing solitaire, which is a game they used to play down on the bayou. And Yarn, you use the Emperor's Tarot to help guide you in your journey to map the ley lines. What's that, sorry? What's that, mister?
His journey to Truthville.
Truthville. So the Forbidden Law Warp is your power play role here, right?
Yeah.
So this basically gives you, instead of just getting 1 as a basic, it's a straight roll. Actually, that means that Bew gets +3. So between the two of you, you've got 5 degrees of success for the mapping of the ley lines. Okay? So Bew's got 3. You've actually got more than Shepherd in this case, because he has an unlucky roll. Actually, what's the invocation bit here do? What's that bit, James?
Invocation is double the power, or add like double my willpower to the manifestation.
Right, I'm with you. Yep, I'm with you. Okay, and what do you need to manifest? Was it 12? Was it?
12, yeah.
Okay, understood. So between the two of you, you have got 5, and I'll have to go and double check what you've got before. So that's your day for your power play. So I shall leave that there now, and then if and I shall have a little look what you've got between you up to now, and I'm not sure if you've got quite enough, but I will have a little look at that afterwards. But I'd like to go on to Yuri and Courtney because they've been sat out a little bit. So, which one of you? Any preference who would like to go first, or doesn't really matter?
Yuri can go first. I'm just doing track.
Always. Okay. So Yuri.
Hello.
You wake in your Spartan chamber. There is a meal of nutrient paste and salt fish,
Nice.
along with some recaf.
This is high
But his
living.
favourite.
So nutrient paste and some salt fish and recaf. It's not a bad breakfast. You've had worse.
Yeah. I'll wolf that down and then straight away head to the infirmary.
Okay, so you head to medbase. You open the door and stood outside the door, looking at you. It's almost as if he was waiting. It's Gibby. He stood out there, and he goes, "What are you doing?"
Gibby, how prescient of you to be waiting for me. I was going to call you.
He smiles. You have a.
He's going to say,
have a-
attend, and wipe that stupid smile off your face.
I think Gibby might be getting himself executed now. So Gibby, you're quite sure that he doesn't know what prescient means. And when you say wipe that smile off his face, he smiles and he wipes it, and then but the smile doesn't go anywhere as he removes his mouth, and he follows you.
Okay, Yuri's going to sigh a little bit and drag his world-weary, battered, fucking ancient carcass towards the infirmary.
Don't want to put a bullet through Gibby's brain.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Okay.
It's a bit early in the morning.
It's early in the day for
execution.
executions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Never too
So
early.
Yuri hasn't had a smoke yet. Give him 10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So,
fine. He's going to
Yuri-
smoke on the way to the infirmary.
I can relate to
Okay.
Yuri a bit more now.
He's a relatable guy. I think there's a little bit of all of us in Yuri these days. He's just fucking sick of it all. He really is.
Wants to execute his colleagues. So, okay, so so Yuri and Gibby. Gibby starts to patter off ahead of you, and then he realizes that you're not making the best pace because of your crude augmetics, and he slowly starts to draw back by your side like a loyal dog. And you make your way fairly slowly, clanking and grinding down to infirmary. And there, med bay. It seems like it's not too heavily populated at the minute. There doesn't seem to be many injured in Medbay at the moment, and down at the end of Medbay, there are the bodies of all the victims who have all been taken out of the crowd coffins and laid there in front of you. And there is the warm, reassuring smile of Dr. Festus Bucket. I'm not sure if you've actually met him before with Yuri. I think you've always met the other doctor, who's the Orphean doctor, Dr. Cobb. But the doctor seems to recognise you, or at least know you. I'm just going to put you onto, if you just excuse me one moment, I'm going to put you onto page bucket. Here we are. So put you onto page bucket. There we go. And there he is, and he walks up to you. And Yuri, he's a strange creature. He's clearly the head doctor. You can make that out by his markings and his insignia. But he does look like quite a misshapen fellow. And again, he's got a smile that is quite off-putting in some ways. And he goes, "Hello, Commissar. Please come in. Everything is as you have requested."
Fucking love this guy.
Is Dr. Bucket just a very hideous or deformed man, or is he an obvious mutant, would you say?
I would say he is a deformed, hideous man, but he doesn't appear to be a mutant to Yuri's well-trained and documented eye. As far as you're aware, he's just a fucking ugly motherfucker.
I don't have to shoot him then. That's cool.
No. It's clearly it's not open brazen heresy.
Not here.
Not here. No. But he is, he's clearly hit many branches in the ugly forest. So.
Okay. I'm going to say, Doctor, gesture to the bodies. These victims, these young ladies, have you examined them at all?
The doctor says, well, yes, I've been involved with at least 3 of the investigations, and I've read the reports. I'm well versed. Perhaps I can assist you. What is it that you wish to know, Mr. Commissar?
All in good time, Doctor. You say you have been involved in at least 3, and there are 4 bodies. So which is
Yes.
it? 3 or 4?
Okay. I'd like you, please, to roll a intimidate.
There we go. 2.1 degrees of success.
Goes, free, no, sorry, hey, free, please, no, just free, no, at least free, just free, that's what I said, free, no, yes, free of them. Mr. Cobb held the other one.
A slip of the tongue.
Slip, yes, a slip.
So,
You notice he's not really meeting your eyes.
which
What
of
Commissar
the
Yuri?
bodies have you not investigated, examined in any way?
And he goes, yes, the last one, yes, this, Miss Eleanor,
And
yes.
why not?
Well, Dr. Cobb handled the arrangements.
Dr. Cobb, I have met.
He's quite competent.
I'm sure. It is just routine questions, you understand. What I would like for you to be doing is make more thorough investigation. Perhaps, full blood work, all that sort of thing. Cut open, examine, autopsy, such things. And Gibby here will watch, won't you, Gibby?
Gibby smiles and nods and goes, yes.
Gibby, use your little...
I'd like you please make a scrutiny roll. Or an awareness roll, please. Sorry for awareness or scrutiny, please.
Or scrutiny. Let's go scrutiny.
Yeah.
I am
Whichever you prefer, whichever your best.
I am a scrutinous man. Oh, no, I'm not.
Okay. Okay, so both Gibby and Dr. Festus have these kind of awkward smiles on their faces, and they're both nodding at each other.
Suspicious.
Yes, Gibby will scan everything you are doing just to make sure there are no anomalous things that we may miss, and I will observe. I would like you to report anything unusual you find, either of you.
Yes, as you wish. I shall redouble my efforts, of course, yes.
Check, I assume you have checked things such as under
Oh.
fingernails for perhaps skin samples of the clawing and such like from defensive wounding causing type struggling with words tonight. Sorry, apologize.
He goes, yes, of course.
Sounds good to me.
And the doctor goes, killer. He seems quite smart, quite clever. That was one of the bodies where the hands have been completely removed. But yes, sometimes there's been signs of a struggle, sometimes not. No, there's been no skin samples of the killer, nothing like that, nothing that I've found. He seems to have been very careful in leaving behind no evidence.
One might say he would be an educated man who knows how to cover his tracks, who knows what someone like myself who is investigating these murders. He might be aware of what it is I would look for, perhaps.
Yuri, it's you.
Plot twist, he's hunting himself.
Don't read my notes, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny, you always fucking see through our
That would be
shit.
amazing if I was hunting Hayden and myself.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
body
The game
is-
just starts to disappear up its own meta arsehole.
which body has no hands?
Okay, so let us bring up my notes. Just 1 second. As I bring up those. Okay. Okay, so the second victim is where I want last one. So the second one, it's an unidentified Orphean, and she's the one who's had her hands chopped off.
I want to know. I have gone full Transylvanian now. One murdered young lady. Two murdered young lady. I am wanting to know, Doctor, the similarities and the differences between each of the victims. This hand detail is interesting. This suggests something perhaps went wrong during that killing. Something changed the murderer's MO, causing him to remove hands, I imagine to remove evidence. I want to know more differences and similarities. Leave no stone unturned, Doctor. Gibby will observe, as will I. Proceed.
Okay, and Doctor goes, yes, right, as you wish. Okay, so
My hand on my bolt pistol as I say that.
what we're going to do here then, your day 3 is going to be spent in investigating or helping to investigate these bodies.
I'm basically, I want him to do the autopsy, but I'm going to watch like a fucking hawk. That's all I want to do.
Okay, fair enough. So what I'll do here then,
A one-eyed hawk
one-eyed
with
hawk.
a gammy leg.
Okay.
And a bad back.
Okay.
And a false arm. And several other minor.
And many bits of
and lots of
several bits of
shrapnel.
how am I going to do this? Then let's have a little think. So we'll do this off Dr. Festus. Then. Where are you, Mr. Festus?
I don't think I could. I don't think I've got any like medical skills or anything that could assist.
No, but I'm going to. But you are certainly helping him in terms of some sort of motivation, perhaps. Or no, maybe you're making him nervous. Let's have a little look. Maybe you're making him nervous. Maybe he doesn't work well with a commissar stood over him with a bolt pistol.
Can I command him to not be nervous?
Wow.
Oops, that's a minus. Okay, well, you can try and command him if you want to try and put him at ease.
No,
I don't know how. Yeah, if you,
I've requested
what would you like?
him as nicely as Yuri would.
that was meant to be a -15 I put on him. But if you want to try and instead use your abilities to actually motivate him rather than give him the fear, you are welcome to do so. If you, but if you've got, you say you've got command, have you?
I do have command, but I'm not particularly being bossy or anything. I'm literally just requesting that he does this.
No, but command is also just leadership in a sense, isn't it? So you can. I'm happy for you to make a command roll.
Right.
It doesn't have to mean bossing. It just can mean, many leaders are not bossy. Okay, so I'm not going to put on that -15 because you'll settle him down with your. Yuri's got many tools in his arsenal. So where are we?
He is an asshole, right?
So 6
Very
tools.
He's had many tools in his house.
He does. He doesn't have an.
Pistols.
He's got many tools in his arsehole because his arsehole was also destroyed, and it's like a Swiss Army arsehole.
In the trench war.
Like how Alexa just magically gains various
Alright.
tools.
It's not it's not the first time. It's not the first time. It won't be the last time. But I'm using my
Well, you're a
GM
magic
veto. my GM veto.
Excuse
There's a magic. It's a colostomy bag of holding. Is that what we're discussing here?
I got vetoed double character creation so many times.
Yeah, you did. I did use the veto several times, Hayden. I had to remind you, Hayden, we're playing a cooperative game. And we're meant to work together as a team, and we can't just make a character to be a vehicle to troll James, Hayden. I had to repeat that lesson several times. It's like because we can't be just like Dave, can we? We've got to, we've got to try and work together.
I don't make my characters to troll people. It just happens
I
that the
wasn't.
characters I
Happy
make are
coincidence.
perfect for trolling.
All right, guys. All right.
It's just how mine landed as well because I was
both
rolling
not
my
trolls,
character.
Alan, so
Both nice guys.
are you telling me?
Right,
Are you telling me that I can't have an augmetic mechadendrite whisk up my anal cavity on Yuri?
I'm telling you, my
Okay.
GM veto has been
Okay,
deployed.
as long as I know where the line is, that's fine.
You know where the line is. It's a pretty low bar I've set on this game. You guys constantly limbo under it. So well played to you. Okay, so so that's a pretty good roll from Dr. Festus, and Yuri, you managed to settle him down as well. So he's going to work away. I'd like to move across, if I may, to Courtney.
Excellent.
You have arranged, so you wake up in your chamber in the Indulgence. You enjoy a nice breakfast of some, breads and some cuts of meat, coffee, ploin juice. There's a few little dainties as well.
Oh, lovely.
And you have arranged with your authority level to interview via the King Cook. You want to interview several of Eleanor's colleagues. So you head that way over to food processing. Is there anything you would like to do other than that prior to interviewing these colleagues of hers? So.
I'm going to pull for a couple of Inquisitorial stormtroopers just to make it a bit more official.
Okay. Yeah. You've got a couple of like I say Inquisitorial Guard. Like you've got a squad, including Major Clam, who are assigned to you pretty much on permanent detail. So they're always available to you should you need to call in. You call in a couple of them.
Yeah.
So you've got a couple. You've got a bit of.
Yeah, just a little bit of an official presence.
Yeah, and also a bit more of a sort of intimidation factor as well. You know, a lot of the serfs and cooks they're not used to dealing with stormtroopers.
Yeah.
So. All right, that's fair enough.
She leaves the room. She's still wearing a official sort of official looking uniform type stuff, functional clothing. But as she leaves the room, she's like, "Come on, boys, let's go." And then she walks down to medbay.
Okay, or rather food processing. Yeah, so you interview the cooks. It's the cooks you interviewed today. So I just want to where are we? I just want to send you a message on Messenger as well.
Yep.
Send you a little reminder of something I don't know. You may have forgotten it. But
I'm being prompted by Yuri. Yeah, the Heresy. I've not forgotten.
Okay, just one moment. So I.
Unleash our vengeful salvo! Bleed them.
Okay.
Macro cannon, volley. Fire right.
Okay, so I'm just sending you a little message on, or a little reminder on Messenger. I'm just going to go for a wee and get a drink, and I shall be right back. Oh, just one more thing. You not.
Lay in the course.
Okay, so I shall be back very shortly.
Yep. Cool. Thanks for that.
I was quite excited about starting this character actually.
Mate, honestly, it's so much fun playing like a geeky character.
I know. I've just packed him full of like stuff people wouldn't normally choose.
Yeah.
Quite off people, you know. It's got loads of good law skills, so
Cool.
that's what it's there for.
That's good, man. It's like we need that. I'm just
I've made my own like Otto.
Yeah.
But it's an Otto equivalent.
Yeah.
I've seen this one, right?
That's cool. Not yet, but could be there. Certainly achievable.
Well, Jan's new acolyte.
This one's going.
I had the choice of going with sort of like 3 people. I've chosen, and
Yeah.
I had
Another
the engineer with Dave. This guy, which hadn't got a name, but it's one Arnold rolled, and that's got veered towards him because Arnold was rolled it. And who else did he tell me that? So someone else. God. But yeah, I could have either been those. So I didn't want to do the one with Dave because I thought if it's ever doing anything with Cletus, I don't want that guy around. So I'm not listening in. So I went for, because Brown is kind of doing his own thing, I went for Brownie, so I'm away from dealing with the Cletus stuff.
Plus, if
Yeah.
you'd have made a character that was like working with Yuri, there's a very good chance I would have executed him in the first session.
Yeah,
for some reason.
yeah. Honestly, I'm still not. I'm still not counting myself from surviving through this game yet.
Come from charges.
Yuri's been very good. He's only executed one person, I think. He's had a few flogged, but
Yeah, that's all right.
he's trying to, he's trying to fit in.
Trying to make a good impression.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's trying to show do not fuck with me.
Is this one about?
I'm on about Yuri. He's done quite well. He's only executed one person, but he has had several flogged.
Got a deft touch.
Yeah, he's a real people person.
And this is day 2 of him on the ship, so let's see who we can fuck with today.
Dear.
I am going to start just when he finds out about the fear factorum, he's going to stop having people flogged and just sentenced to be servitorized.
Yes. Yes.
Littering on deck C. Sentence servitorization.
Are we just having Judge Dredd,
I'll send you a
basically?
quote,
Is Yuri
I'll send you a
Shevchenko
quote,
is Judge
I mean.
Dredd? Is that?
I'm Russian Judge
You've got to make
Dredd.
up things.
I'm Comrade Dredd.
You've got to wait there. You've got to wait there in the corners of corridors with a speed camera, moving too fast. You know what I mean?
Walking
I want that
above
quota.
3 miles an hour. But Commissar, the speed limits are in kilometers. Shut up. Cut out his tongue too.
Are you arguing with the Emperor's laws? Heresy.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
one moment, please. Just one moment.
Did you watch any of those cartoons, Sunny Island?
Watched quite a bit of Hell's Angels. I don't know which one. I've watched most of that. Hell's Angels I quite enjoyed. That I've not got all the way through it yet. What was the other one?
No, I
you
sent you
Oh,
some
no,
on
you sent me-
Messenger. They're just some
Oh, no, I
2-minute
haven't,
ones of a
Oh, no,
barbarian.
I have not watched them as yet. Sorry, no.
It's called the Chaotic Neutral Barbarian. Or Chaotic Good. So it's quite good. It's quite fun.
Okay, No, I have not yet seen them. Sorry, mate.
Make sure you watch like Immortality Killed the Lich first.
It's funny.
Annihilate them!
I enjoyed it.
Okay. So, Courtney, I'd like you, please. So this is about you're saying you're spending your day free.
Yeah.
I'd like you, please. Let's have a look. Your character sheet. Now,
Another salvo!
so I would like you, please, Courtney. You're going to do some interviewing. The King Cook has arranged for you speak with a number of Eleanor's colleagues, and I would like you to kind of describe how well this everything will go. I'd like you to make an inquiry roll, but I'd like you to make it plus 30.
Alright, okay. Can I try and sweeten the deal by requisitioning bringing some of those dainties with me? From the smart.
You're going to bring the dainties, and you're going to use them to try and bring people onto your side. Is that right?
Yeah, and a good strong thing of recap, like
okay.
good stuff.
You're going to bring some of so you're going to bring some of your so you're going to basically bring some of your breakfast to try and butter up.
Make people talk.
Yeah, maple top. Okay, I like it, Johnny. So let's go for we'll add a plus. Is it?
Like a meet and greet.
I got a plus 5 for pastry bonus, please. So plus 30, plus 35 in total on an inquiry roll.
Arnold's got a cat somewhere.
I like to add the plus 5 pastry modifier when applicable, Johnny.
Excellent. No, thank you.
I've had this modified before.
The plus 5 pastry. Okay, so how is it going?
Yeah, let's see.
The tactics must reap
Pastry work.
Oh, it's not bad at all. It's looking good, mate.
No, but you put plus 35.
Yeah, that's why I started. It's plus 30 normally.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
It's quite easy.
Plus 5 pastry.
That's
And
maybe,
he's got an additional plus 5, so
Pastry.
for the pastry and pastry modifier. I mean, look, if you check it up, it's in the book actually. Plus 5 pastry. It's actually in the book, but most people don't.
Guide to the reality.
Maggers guide. I mean, that's the first rule of role playing is when to apply the variable fudge factor. I learned that from Jacob Roberts all those years ago. Right. So Alexa, you speak to these people in turn. You ply them with coffee and pastries, which are in excess of what they're used to, the quality of the food and they're used to, and it does seem to help loosen tongues. And there is one of Eleanor's. Excuse me. Pardon me. I do beg your pardon. I do beg your pardon. I'll maybe have some pastries myself. Oh, excuse me. Yes, there's one of Eleanor's colleagues who does seem to have some useful information that she seems quite willing to share. So this colleague is named Sam, and she seems to be somewhat of a gossip. And she seems to have heard a little bit about Eleanor and talk of like a new fella. So what this Sam tells you is that the victim, Eleanor, she was something of, she always seemed to have several boys on the go at the same time, and she had spoken of a new one, and she had mentioned that she intended to go and see him after shift. Now she didn't give a name, but she has a few little, she did get a few bits of information out of Eleanor.
Excellent.
For this kind of new lover that she was going to meet. Where are we? Just here.
It's green, didn't she? Like, oh, do tell. Like,
so she normally
like a fellow gossip, and then she's like, she leaves some packets, cigarettes, and IO. Well, then, yesterday. This is good stuff.
Okay.
She's just like one of the girls gossiping. I mean, just trying to find out the information.
Okay. So Sam greedily you say help yourself. So Sam greedily takes one, lights one, but she also takes another 4 and stashes them in.
That's fine.
Buckets.
That's
and
fine.
she says, you know, but what she says is that this Eleanor, she normally goes for, you know, pretty younger men, and you can get from the ship system, you can get from the ship's records that this Eleanor is 25.
Yeah.
So
That lowers the catchment area somewhat. Catchment population.
it certainly does. Just give us 1 second. I'm just having a little look at something.
Excellent stuff.
And also, the other few bits that she knew, she didn't have a name, but she knew that this this gentleman, you know, or clearly not a gentleman, had had a fancy accent, and was, you know, it seemed smart, as in, you know, basically smartly dressed. And this, sorry?
I was 20.
I mean, I don't know how old's Quintius. But yeah, I mean, Quintius does seem to fit the fancy accent and smart. And also, Eleanor suggested that this man was, you know, a man of means. That he had, you know, money and access. So, although she doesn't have a name, I mean, this Sam seems to think that she normally goes for pretty younger men.
Wasn't there? Sorry, this is me thinking about it for a while. Wasn't there a bridge officer on the ship that got really pissed off with not being made into the captain? He might.
Yeah, that's Commander Sharp. That's Commander Sharp. Commander Sharp is much older than 20.
Right, okay. No,
yes, Commander Sharp was basically Commander Sharp should be in charge after the Inquisitor gives up command, but in fact the Inquisitor gave command to Quintius, so it was a massive slight to Commander Sharp. He was, you know, he managed to hold his, but yeah, he was clearly slighted by the fact that why would you give command of the ship to Quintius? It's preposterous, you know. So obviously he was insulted by that because it should have been him who took. It should have been him who was in charge of the ship after Lucius gave up. Gave up his chair. So, and you know, and you can see why that is quite the insult, can't you?
Quintius is.
What about
than
Jeeves?
25. Quintius is in his 30s.
Yeah. What about Jeeves? The lad with the stutter.
Oh, Jeeves bit older.
It is.
Oh yeah, Jeeves. How old is Jeeves?
Jeeves isn't old. Jeeves is quite young.
Jeeves is quite young. Oh yeah,
he's a fairly young lad.
Well to do. He's getting paid now, isn't he? So do it for his job. Coming for your manservant, Dave. Could be with Jeeves. Yeah, I mean, what's your downtime? No, that's just sorry. From this information, I'll be like, oh, that's so helpful. So she's going to speak to all her other friends and associates and stuff as well to get anything different from them. Does she, or is it just
So as you talk to various other of the cooks and line cooks, you don't get anything further. A lot of them give corroborating evidence.
Yeah.
You know, as in, you know, this Eleanor, she seems like the sort who kind of brags and gossips about her. About her conquests and what have you, and she always seems to have several guys on the go. She's playing them against each other, you know, and you know, this is very much the way she liked to be.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that narrows that down. So that's. I'm just going to come into Nathaniel. Like Nathaniel, Courtney, needed to run a check on people on. Young men under 25 for the ship, potentially the ones that would be of means, so particularly well paid or skilled, you know, ship's crew that might potentially be on a reasonable amount of money and be fairly well to do. That could be at any section of the ship, any particular section. So if you could find that out for me, that'd be great. Thank you, Nathaniel.
Okay, so Nathaniel starts to. I mean, you've also asked him before to kind of start cross-referencing all the different comings and goings of all the people on ship. Nathaniel will tell you that it's not that easy. You know, all the comings and goings of all the crew, they're not that closely monitored. So it's not like people have tracking device on him. The number of server scores, which are quite are not as the server scores are what shows, or like they're the camera system for the ship, and there's not as many server scores.
We need
that
ID cards and we need a census on board the ship.
Sensors, okay.
Yeah, so we know who we've got aboard this ship, and then it's like anybody can be challenged at any given point, for their ID. So it's just a security measure. It's a perfect excuse to do it. When there's a threat of death potentially around every corner.
Okay. And Nathaniel as well. He also confides to you, Courtney, that it's not so easy to track people up and down the ship, even with the servo scores. He wonders whether there might be, let's say, secret passages or hidden ways to move about the ship as well.
Is there any way we could find that out?
And he says, and this is one thing. Okay, and Nathaniel says, it tells you that he has already been trying that, trying to map this out.
Fantastic, that's great work.
Okay, so in terms of, I like to leave the Cell 54 bit here for now. I'm going to do a little bit of work in the downtime for what Festus Bucket discovers for Yuri, and also to check how far along Yarn and Bu are on theirs, and then also do a bit of work on that as well. So I might need to do some handouts kind of in the meantime, but I'd like to pause Cell 54 kind of discoveries for now, and then go back on Cell 53 if we may.
Excellent, yeah.
So Cell 53 are all together. Pardon me. You are. So we're now back onto Arnold, Nixius, Alexa, and Quintius. Now, just one moment. Let me just double check. Oh, sorry. Before we go back on there's one more thing I've missed here, and that is Yuri. Was it Yuri? Yeah, Yuri. You got some information back from one Cohen Cobb, who's the patriarch of the Cobb family. Now, in a couple of sessions ago, you asked him to try and discover who this unidentified Orphean was, and you set him on that task. And Cohen Cobb comes back to you, and he has identified her as one Ruby Barrows, who was a pretty young lass, who was a bit of a tomboy, who was prone to disobeying and doing her own thing, and she was quite fierce, as most Orpheans are. But especially for a young lass, she was quite fierce. So that's one thing. So I think we've got all that bit done. So at the start of the Cell 53 section, I'd just like for Alexa, I'd like you to make a tech use test, please. Okay. This is something that should have happened a few sessions ago.
I'm not going to get zapped by Mother, am I?
No comment.
That means I am.
No comment.
Okay.
Have you been reading my notes?
I just pick them up on the grapevine, man. I get D3 rerolls, don't I? So
yeah, I mean that's a good roll. You don't necessarily have to reroll it, but if you want to try and get a better roll, you can.
I'll leave it.
That's up to you. But yes, you get D3 rerolls per turn. That's due to your very high intelligence.
Okay, so.
And you can put them onto anything intelligence based. So it's not reroll for anything, but anything that's like intelligence based. Okay. So you want to keep that?
Yep.
Okay. So a few sessions ago, Nixius's servo skull, Pumpkin, was acting unusual, and Arnold thought that the servo skull was goading him, and he tried to attack it. It was in his kind of, he was in a phase, Arnold, where he was attacking all of your pets, and and he tried to batter aside Nixius's servo skull. Nixius very kindly didn't have him executed for treason, but he did ask you to take apart, have a look at the servo skull, see if there's anything wrong with it, anything that's any explanation for why it was behaving unusually. So as soon as you've had a bit of downtime, you're back at the designated bay, and you started working that immediately, and then I kind of forgot about it, and then James reminded me. So what you would have discovered, Alexa, from your work, is that the servo skull, and you already kind of half knew this as well. So when you were coming across the docking tunnel, the link station with the ship, you were communicated to via the skull from Mother. So when she started getting really insane and mad and threatening to kill you all, she actually communicated to you through Pumpkin. And this is a very risky way because normally when she communicates to you, it's via a direct meld with the ship. And in this case, it was using a Vox, which
Like Wi-Fi.
and it's quite a unsecure means of communication, right?
Yeah.
So so what happened was, so basically, so you believe that the reason that Pumpkin has been behaving unusually or quite unlike how it should be is because it might be because Mother has been using Pumpkin to surveil, has been using, to keep an eye on you, make sure you're not up to any mischief and what have you. So that is the reason why you think, and perhaps, perhaps Arnold picked up on that. Maybe it wasn't that he was being goaded by the GM. Maybe it was because, the server skull was...
The entity within the server, the entity present with the server skull.
Yeah.
I get that.
You basically feel that it was like, I suppose, the ship itself, which is why the server skull is not. And you know this already because when you melded with the ship before, you've seen that all the server skulls are like the way the ship sees. It's like it's a network of vision. So when you've melded with the ship, you've seen through all the eyes of the server skull. So you kind of already knew this to a large degree. Okay,
cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Stuff.
So that's what you discover when you do your work on the server skull, which is what Nixie's asked you to do.
It's just a faulty fuse. And then she takes the fuse out of her pocket because she'll obviously carry things like that, and then just puts it, places it in, and pretends that it's, that's what the problem was. They're not going to know, are they? They're going to take a word for it. I know you've heard me saying that now, but would you question it? No, I'm just like, this isn't.
Are you asking people not to metagame? And no one metagames in this group, Johnny. Especially not you, Johnny.
I know. So I'm just going to say it with a faulty fuse.
I know. Okay, so you, but you basically tell Nixius that it's just, it was acting up, and you've repaired the fault. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'd also like Nixius, please, to make a lore roll. Which one is it? It's Xenos lore, please, if you'll be so kind, and +10 for your, let's say, your groundwork or your homework. Let's say she did a load of. There we go. Thank you very much. So this is something I meant to say during a previous game, James, but I'll say it now. So what you know about the Styrics is that they've got quite a hierarchical nature where they're very much focused on rank and what have you. Now the captains of ships, they very rarely leave their craft. So the fact that this Captain Crunch has come off of his ship to kind of, let's say, ambush you and to try and treat with you, is actually it makes him lose face quite a bit. That's quite a loss of standing for himself and amongst his peers, for him to be forced to leave his ship to try and deal with you. So that's something I meant to make you roll for in the last game, but now I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Okay.
Well, so actually coming to find us instead of us going to them is a loss of...
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So, okay. So, where we are starting today's game for Cell 53 is that you have had you arranged to meet with several mercenary groups, and one of them is, I'll put you back on the map. So one of them is a mercenary outfit called the Marauders. They have a large ship called the Berlingrad, which is in effect a massive troop carrier. I've put you on this map at the end of last game, and I'll put it on again. So you've got a small army here of what are in effect Imperial Guard, with associated artillery, heavy movers, cargo 12s, cargo 6s, and ancillary staff. And you've been... Hold on, where are we here? And you've been... so there's the four of you, and you're now dealing with a kind of an administrator who is here to kind of deal on behalf of the mercenaries, and see if you are interested in employing them. And so the beginning of this session is going to be all 4 of you and this emissary from the Marauders, who introduced himself as Egar. He's a non-combatant officer? Is there a special word for that? Johnny will know. Officer. It's like an administrative staff. So it's like a non-combatant officer. So
Staff officer.
yeah, staff officer. Right? So it's basically staff officer. He's there in more of an administrative role rather than for fighting. And handle sort of things like pay and logistics and things. So it's staff officer Egar, who has come to treat from the Marauders, and he shows you. He hands you over data slates with the various troops and tanks on whatever at his disposal. They're led by one General Wah, and that's where we'll begin today's game for Self 3.
General Wah.
General Wah. It's a perfectly good name. The cost for recruitment, it's a 1.5 million throne geld initial fee, and they will cost another 300k per week. Quite an expensive outlay, but it's an army for hire.
We could win this war and get this war, those squad people to help us foot the bill for these guys. Once we get them, like we've brought people, friends, we're going to need some support because they've probably got enough tech or creds or something like that to help sort of co-fund this army for the duration of this war. If we head straight there, straight after this, after we've been to Ridge Station, so just to minimise the amount of time that we'll have to hire them for, I'm sure they'd be able to help. They're sort of essentially not a settlement, but a civilization, aren't they? They're just under attack.
Yeah, it's the New Brugan Kingdom is the name of the squat empire. So you don't really have any information as to how large that is or the resources they have available, but they must have more. You probably think they would have more resources available than you do. Again, it's not clear how much resources the ship Hammer 81 has to play with.
I'll mention this to Quintius.
I had similar thoughts. I was wondering if perhaps an option could be that we act as brokers between the New Brugan Kingdom and the mercenaries, and perhaps collect a finder's fee for putting them in touch with one another. But then also, both parties are aboard this ship, and one must assume they are aware of each other, which begs the question: why haven't the mercenaries offered their services, and why haven't the squats sought them out?
Maybe it's a matter of price. If we went
maybe it's something else.
Or is it something else? Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I will gently, carefully, gingerly skirt around this subject until I get to the truth of it, Alexa, and then with the information I learn, we shall proceed.
Very good, Captain. That's the first time she's called you Captain.
Give me a little twitch.
Get into this roleplay thing now. It's like, let's pretend he's a captain.
So Johnny, you're role playing someone who's role playing within a role play? Is that what we're doing?
Meta role play.
That's basically meta. That's role play within role play. Oh no, that's not quite meta. Anyway,
role play, man.
We all wear many hats. Sometimes only in the bedroom.
I'm going to start role-playing a dominatrix.
Hayden, you are muted, buddy, so I didn't catch any of that, mate. Still muted, buddy?
I am. I've been trying to speak for ages.
Oh, sorry, mate. I don't know how long you've been trying to speak, but when was the time to speak? Were you been Arnold or before Arnold? Or?
No. It's just Arnold.
We've been speaking for the last hour,
Yeah, he's going to say, in hushed tones, he says, Oh, we could pretend to hire them, get them to leave
well-
all their equipment in the armory, and then suck them out into space and steal all the goods.
That feels a little bit of a risk that relies on a number of things we can't control, such as getting them to leave all their gear in the armory.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you, I've never been known for great plans.
Yeah. They have their own ship, for one thing. I don't see why they would be aboard our vessel.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very expensive, aren't they? I
They
mean,
are
we have a
very
free,
expensive.
we have a free army of orcs. They could lay waste to the squats.
We, well, I don't know. I don't think we were considering laying waste to the squads, Arnold, but...
What? Taking the resources?
I mean, we're talking about an entire civilization here.
Where is the
Yeah.
where's what empire out? Have we got a map?
I shall put you on this star map, buddy. Just give me 1 sec. The final frontier.
The way I see it, there's three options. We hire them, we ignore them, or we try and get them to work with the squats, and we broker a deal between the two parties and maybe take a little slice of the pie for ourselves.
I
Okay,
think the
so-
third seems good. Then we don't have to spend any money, and we make money.
Put you on the map for the star map. That shows what you've discovered thus far is the Orpheus sector. You are at Ridge Station currently. There are 4 sectors, one of which will be the next part of the campaign, if you ever get there. 2 of which you've not discovered yet, and one of which is where, you know, the refugee ship that you spared.
That was the butcher, wasn't it?
Well, basically the Butcher King he's the one who's kind of self-claimed king of the miasma, and he is the one who has laid waste to the Percy's coalition, and they were fleeing him. He's basically making attacks upon this human empire. It's been defeated, and yeah, so that's where they're fleeing from. So it's not necessarily the Butcher King himself, but his armies of the Plague Fleet. So you've kind of discovered 2 of the sectors. One of them is a squat empire. One of them is a human empire, which is in ruins and is basically been defeated and is collapsing. Let us say. The other 2 are as yet undiscovered. Okay. So we can pretend this bit is before you actually meet with the staff officer, and because it sounds like you're plotting, so we don't need to have him here for now while you plot, or decide what you're doing next. So.
What are your thoughts?
Looks like we're missing.
Well, I think it's a big spend, but it just depends. Like, are you going to get as much gains back from your expenditure for these people, or are we going to get to, you know, it all depends what happens in the future, doesn't it? It's
I
quite
can't imagine us getting the use out of them like we would arming all of our guys with flame or bolt.
I'm kind of inclined to think the same, but I do wonder if
I
introducing
agree.
them to the squats.
Well, well, if you can broker a deal and get a cut on top, that's always money, isn't it?
But say, as you know, they must be aware of each other because you are aware of both of them. It's a small station, and also there seems to be people dealing in rumours as well. So they must know of each other. So that's definitely the case, Quintus.
Do we know where we're supposed to be going next?
We haven't decided.
No, that's part of you to decide. Really, is you meant to. One of your primary objectives, James, is to learn a bit about each of these 4 sectors, and then you will decide where you want to go next.
Yeah. I mean, I think we don't know where Lucius wants to go.
Oh no, he's given, you know, he's basically given charge of this to you.
Okay.
You don't know why. It makes no sense, right? Maybe it's because it's more fun having you guys in charge of it than him.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was, you know, if we're being drawn into the squats as a ruse rather than them getting the mercs to do their bidding, because it does, you know, why bother? Or maybe the squats are broke.
Yeah, I mean, what we're going to gain from doing this if we go help the squats?
Tech.
Yeah.
What if
They
we
offered.
buy
They made it.
the squats bolters, and then they can afford to buy the Merc army?
The squats. Yeah.
They must have. The squats must have some money because they've spent a load of money on your wares, so they can't be broke.
The squats offered to basically fucking fix up our ship, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, so the squats basically they made their pitch to you. They are good, loyal allies. They are, they have resources and they're good with tech. They think they're the only people who can repair the primary weapons on your ship in the whole sector because it's a very specialist weapon, the mass drives. So they made their pitch and they said they're good, loyal allies.
Well, if that's making the ship better and fixing it, it just it depends what's the overall cost of fixing the ship or doing it, because there's a distraction thing. How long's the campaign on the war part of the squat planet going to be compared to the price of it fixing on the ship here?
Yeah,
Compared that to the price of hiring the mercenaries per day on the squat planet.
Here's another issue: the mercenaries as well, taking on board a fuckload of troops on board the ship. They could potentially take over
they're
the
not going
ship.
to be on our ship.
No. They've got their own ship, Johnny.
right.
They've got their own ship.
All right. Just checking.
What did you mean by the distraction factor, Hayden?
Oh, that was Brownie. What the distraction?
Oh yeah, I just wondered if we were just being distracted.
Oh no. We're deciding the path of the campaign, aren't we? So
Yeah. Well, there's
there was nothing.
I forgot about the overall arc of fixing the ship. Actually, I forgot about that.
So yes, I mean you are getting some repairs here at the station, but the squats are they're known for being good with tech. James, there was nothing from the squat captain that gave you any indication that he was deceiving you, but Nixius doesn't trust anyone. In general, you got the feeling that he was, he said what he meant and expected the same from you. So, and that's also your kind of opinion of the squats. They do set a lot in store by honesty and loyalty.
I'm so far out of the two planets we're aware of, because we don't know what's on the other two. The two we're aware of, I'm swaying towards the squats over the human ruined civilization. I quite like the idea of going to the squats, getting the ship fixed up, maybe getting some fancy tech, and helping them with their war.
And then, if we have time, we can circle back, see if anybody's still alive from the humans, and if they are, we can use them as servitor fodder.
Oh, yeah. Who are the squats fighting against, Alan? I can't remember.
He called them the Red Orcs.
The Red Orcs, that was it. Yeah. So it's war.
And just to make game a little bit, you've already faced the Red Orcs. They were the ones who won board the Wellard.
So it's payback for us.
Payback for you.
It'd be payback for us. We'd get the ship fixed up. We'd get possibly access to some fancy tech. Maybe some even more advanced weapons down the line. That's the benefits we've got of joining the squat army. Now that's a bit of a side question from what we're doing at the moment, because what we need to decide at the moment is what we're going to do with these mercenaries, if anything. Now, if we are going to go to the squats, this might be a valuable asset to have with us in that war. In fact, it is a valuable asset. It's like several thousand men looking at that fucking sheet. Along with vehicles and transportation and artillery
we could
and all
take the Ark.
If it's all in space, then it's not going to be all those vehicles are going to mean fuck all. It's just going to be like so. Whereas if it's like a ground war, we don't know what the sort of terrain we're fighting on.
Hey, if it's a ground war, mate, we've got a fucking flame tank.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Planet conquered.
Yeah.
All we need is the sex rocket and the drug sandwich, and we're fucking done.
Fucking job done.
I've secretly set the objectives for the campaign, by the way. Flame tank,
Beat
sex
the end boss
rocket,
with a drug sandwich and a sex rocket.
Is that a new side quest, is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm after. I'm after a sex rocket next.
We have to make one.
I've already got one.
The way you rubbed your hands there, Dave, and your eyes went big.
Right, so are we? Do we want to like dabble with the idea of brokering an arrangement between the mercenaries and the?
I think we should. Because then they can discuss the type of application.
If we can get them to join the squats, then we can also still have some money to buy stuff for our ship.
Yeah,
Or-
because we could like go with them. We're basically building an army from. So we've got a ground force from, but we could also lend the might of the malevolence to their efforts as
Also,
well.
what we've got as well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got all our resources which we can pull to. If we can broker
or
that,
we could just,
we could win this war for them.
yeah, or we could just take the orcs we're already allied with, go ally with the red orcs, batter the planet, enslave the dwarves, and make them fix the ship for free.
That's a really good idea as well. I like that.
Yeah,
Because we don't even have to pay the orcs.
but slaves, especially.
Hold on, just one second. I need to jump in as well. You've got like the orc ship. It's not a massive ship. I'll put you back on the orc map just to say what you're dealing with. So, but yeah, it's a group of freebooters. It's not a fucking.
It's not
you know what I mean? It's not an army like this one is. I'll put you back on. I'll just show you again. So I'll put you on. This is the
Alright.
page called Orcs is the bestest. Face
Yeah.
smashers. So this is a couple of mobs of 40 boys, a big gun, 3.5 trucks, a weird boy,
Yeah.
a mech boy, some commandos, and a runt herder.
Oh,
We
they're
could
going to
take
sell
over a
us
small
out. They're going
town.
to sell us out for more tea for the Red Orc. They'll sell us out. It'll be a trap. I can sense it.
No, we don't have to do this one, honestly. I just because I just want to fly an orc warship
I mean,
into something. But if I have to leave it here, I have to leave it here.
Hayden wants. Basically, I've given Hayden the option of a captain the ship and what have you, and to bring it along on your campaign, but not if you're allying with the squats. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
I'm not
You have to
allowed
pick. You have to pick a side. So you know, if you and it does seem like you are leaning quite heavily towards the squat path, and it makes sense. It's a sensible route, right?
We don't know
It's
what's on the other
not
two
loyalist
planets.
crime as well.
It seems sensible to fix the ship,
It's a
even
less
though I.
practical path. They might have manufacturing gear that can help with the safe factor as well.
There's many reasons to go with the squats, I think.
Take it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, the to go the other route where the Perseus coalition is basically in ruins and losing out to the forces of the Butcher King. That makes not much sense to go that way, right? But there you go. It's there as an option.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
my
that
thoughts
sounds
Well,
is
I'll
it's
say
there.
it's also a metagame, you guys. It's also a metagame. Each of the 4 paths has advantages and disadvantages, and unique resources and unique options. Let's say it's not all like it's you know what I mean. So even that one seems like a very bad thing. It's not like there wouldn't be some stuff there to make it.
Yeah. I mean, if any of those guys have
Unless the game
survived
from
the plague and stuff as well, we could always drop what's left into the ship, just to replenish our losses.
Certainly, the Butcher King would not be expecting you to go that way. Who would? It'd be madness.
My only concern was if we go that way and we do end up in a fight against the Plague Fleet, which is what Alan's described it as several times, we are one ship with no primary weapon and a damaged hull.
Yeah, we might as well let a planet get in a way so they can burn the planet. Just give like a speed bump before they get into us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
And even if we do end up falling entirely to the path of chaos, we don't have to do it straight away. And I don't particularly.
I'll
want
be your
to
guide, Dave.
I don't particularly want to be enslaved by a guy called the Butcher King.
No.
Well, no, you did have your option to join the forces. It's like Reptile tried to recruit you all, and you had the option to basically turn the campaign that way. And I think what you said is "fuck sucking Papa Nurgle's cock." I think that's what your exact words, Dave.
Something along those
Something along those lines. So, yeah, so you kind of fucked off that plan, but that was one option to stay on the planet, join the family, fight the orcs, and but you fucked that off. So. It's no longer an option. You'll no longer be that. That option has been rejected.
We're going to be virtuous.
Yes.
At the moment, we don't. We are trying to.
I'm just looking out for us. I'm all about self-preservation. That's what my scheme is.
Ship fix, little covert missions to smash orcs up. I like the idea of putting orcs up as a player. Especially Arnie gets excited about this sort of thing. You're talking to ruthless, rational Hayden. I should really switch into because Arnie'd be like, "Okay, let's go smash some orcs." Really.
Okay. All right. It's only Hayden who,
getting in my own way.
he's trying to get his own way. It's Okay, so so is I mean, basically, we can have this Ego guy. He's laid out his case. He's shown you all the information. He's told you where to find him. If you want to go and do the Berlingrad, or if is there any questions you want to ask this guy before he heads off, he's given you all the information about what they have to offer,
Yeah.
what their cost is. Is there anything you want to ask him, or would you like to move on to the next mercenary? Guys, or is there anything more to discuss here on this one? Or
I'm gonna ask him. Do he or his commanders or his soldiers have any qualms about working with certain groups of people? Perhaps are they inclined towards any certain mindset or faction or strange religious quirks or anything like that?
Staff Officer Igor, he says to you, he says, perhaps maybe more direct. We tend to try and keep an open mind. It doesn't pay to be too choosy as a mercenary outfit. We, of course, hold ourselves to certain standards, which we would not be involved with. We will not be involved with any atrocities, of course. We consider ourselves to be decent people, but still, is there anything specific you are trying to ask me, Hess?
Are you familiar with the New Brugan Kingdom?
Yes, sir. The squats. Yes, we are aware of them, and we have no issues with working with them or similar Xenots.
Have you offered your services to the New Brugan Kingdom?
Why, yes, of course, sir. Yes, of course. They have told us that they will consider our offer.
I see.
That has been some weeks ago. So we do not believe that they have any serious intention of employing our services.
What if I could maybe help change their minds and convince them to employ you and your people to assist in their little squabble with red orcs?
Because why? We have no issue fighting the orcs, sir.
No, who doesn't?
Foul creatures.
They are,
Foul
yes.
creatures.
Yes, faced them myself once.
Sir, yes, that would be of interest to us, we believe.
And I assume that there might be a little, perhaps a broker's fee involved if I was to arrange such a thing. It seems to me that they've perhaps either snubbed you or are not interested at all.
Let's have a scrutiny roll, please, from Quintinus at -10.
Woo, why is my character sheet gone tiny? There we go.
Tiny little coachy, tiny little hands.
Oh, so he has got little hands as well. A -10. I will scrute him. I shall use a fate point to add a degree of yesness.
Okay. So Quintius, you think that you've hit the nail on the head there. Yes, there's something in a way he reacts. It doesn't give away much, but there's something like perhaps a little twitch in his eyes, something that makes you think, yes, they have been snubbed. He goes, yes, we do have. I'm sure something might be arranged, sir. We have perhaps a percentage based on our total take on a sliding scale. I think a broker's fee might be possible if you could secure us a long-term contract.
I mean, I'm fairly certain I can. That's kind of what I do. I'm a mover, a shaker, a man who makes things happen.
He goes, I see that, sir. I see you're a man with a silver tongue.
Oh, that's just the obscura. Don't mind that.
Yes. If our service is not of interest to you, perhaps perhaps a broker's fee could be arranged.
Oh no, I didn't say they're not of interest to us. You see, we may possibly be in the market to hire you ourselves, but I'm just trying to help everyone get what they want here. If it comes to it that we don't need your services, I wouldn't like to see you hired by the wrong side, for example, and end up on the wrong side of history. You all seem like good, reasonable, responsible men, and I hate to see good assets go to waste. So yes, if I can't find a use for you myself, I'd like to help you find a use, a purpose, a calling, if you will.
Say Gorks is a good calling.
Always,
And Arnie
yes,
brushes-
yes, it is Arnie.
Arnie brushes his necklace of orc teeth.
I'm going to give Arnie a pat on his meaty shoulder as he does that as well.
Okay. Well, so General
Same
sorry,
hairstyle.
Staff Officer Igar, he goes, well, thank you. Yes, I mean we have no issue with fighting the orcs, but don't worry about us being on the wrong side. We'd never fight for the orcs. who would make? What self-respecting human would do that?
Yeah, exactly. One
What?
other thing. Have you
Not-
encountered... Just brushing over Arnie, trying to talk about orcs. But one other thing. Have you ever encountered these strange dog fellow people, the Styrics?
Oh yes, the Styrics. I mean, they're yes. I have encountered them. Yes, you can't go too far throughout the Cronus Expanse without happening upon those fellows. Yes, I never got along with them myself, but yes, we'd still work with them if we had to.
Have you ever worked against them?
No, sir, no, we haven't. But, yes, I wouldn't be against that either.
No, I wouldn't at all. Just an idle curiosity. I met some of them last night. That's the first time I've met such creatures. They were quite rude, I thought. Quite
Yes.
strange.
Yes, you never forget them, do you?
No.
Yes, and the smell.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite vile. They were heavily armed as well, I thought, for a station where one can't openly carry many weapons. Anyway, just an idle thought about them. It really doesn't mean anything. Well, I tell you what then, Mr. Igar. By the end of today, I will contact you again. Let me see what I can do regarding this business arrangement with the New Brugan Empire.
He goes, yes, very good, sir. If that's all, I shall
Thank
take
you
my
for your
leave.
time.
He gives you links his comm bead with you, so you can contact him in the future, and he goes about his business.
Okay. Alexa, track him and murder him. No, don't really. I'm joking.
Okay.
Her eyes glow red instead of blue.
Quickly flashing through the colours. Ah, no! Disengage rage mode.
Oh, disengaged.
Okay. So
Arnie
next
leans in and goes, "Did you say kid?"
Later, there'll be time for that. I've got plans for you, Arnold. I know who I want you to kill. I'll give you a clue. They smell really bad.
the smell of dog embryo.
The catering staff.
Yes. No.
Okay. So the next mercenary outfit, it's not really of the same sort of scale or such. It's in fact the gentleman who strides in. It's just a single. It's like a single gentleman. He's introduced his name as Riviera, and he's not representing a group of mercenaries like the orcs or the marauders, but he introduced himself as more of a trader in information. As he walks in, he's very clearly finely dressed. Now, I'd like everyone to make an intelligence roll. Nixius, you don't need to make a roll here, I don't believe, because I think, if I remember correctly, I'd like everyone else to make an intelligence roll.
Intelligence.
Okay. Nixius.
I have failed.
Okay, so, and Alexa, would you like to make a roll? If you can.
I'll try.
Intelligence, please.
Yay.
Okay, so Nixios, you have a kind of a perfect, you have total recall, like a perfect sort of memory. So you've seen this guy before. He was sat in the bar called the End of the Road. He was watching a couple of kind of Xenos dancers cavorting in one corner, and he was sat right behind where you were stood at the bar at one point. Alexa, you also recognise this one because of your cogitator system. You've got a very good memory, so you actually recognise this gentleman as well. So you've seen him at the bar before. He's well dressed, blonde hair. It seems like he had a slightly his nose looks like it's been broken, but it seems to add almost like a certain quaint charm to himself rather than looking ugly. And he walks with a certain confidence about him. And he introduced himself as Riviera. He describes himself as more of a broker of information. And he sits himself. I presume you've got like a room or something where you are interviewing these mercenaries, and he sits himself down in front of you and introduces himself. So who is, let's say, leading the discussion at your end?
Nick's your
Quintus
turn.
again, is it? Lord James?
Hello.
Hello. Yes, they're just asking if you wanted to lead this one.
No, you do, please, Dave.
Okay.
We
Ah,
recognise him, but I don't think we interacted before.
Well, none of you've spoken to this guy, but yeah, you just recognise him from the bar, so it's not a new face.
Very tidy attire. Hats off to you, man. It was shower well.
Yeah, and he does smell like he's got good hygiene. There's a certain subtle aroma about him as well, like a perfume of some sort. And he says, he just smiles to you. He's got like a quite confident bearing. He smiles to you, and not like a little dip of the head. You get a little dip of the head. So
Yeah, Anna smiles back. And just carries on. Looking.
so Mr. Riviera.
That is your real name.
If that is your real name, no. As a trader in information is something I may be a purchaser of course, if it's the right information at the right price. Now, I'm interested in learning something about some of the other worlds in this sector. Would that be the sort of information you might have?
and he smiles and he says, this name, because Alex, are you saying if that is your real name, or are you just thinking?
No, that's it.
And he goes, I have many sources of information at my disposal. I've been focusing mainly on the station for the last 18 months, and I pick up information from all the ships that come and go here. I have found your ship to be somewhat of an interest, and I've also grown slightly bored of the station here, so I am looking to move on. Let us say I'm looking for a more permanent employment. So I can either offer you information on a case-by-case basis, or perhaps enter into a more permanent employ upon your ship while you move on to perhaps a new location.
Great,
Such
another
a
serial
thing.
killer. That's just what we need.
Alexa, I'd like you to make a intelligence test at -30, please.
Something that I often do in life.
So tell me, Mr. Riviera, if you were to seek employment aboard our vessel, and you would come with, I assume, some knowledge with you, obviously, that you would give us freely once you are in our employ, I imagine.
I'm going to re-roll that.
Do you have any further sources of new information once you're in our employ?
So he says, yes, I would be employed somewhat as a consultant, if you like, and I shall give my knowledge freely to there. I also have a number of men in my employ who may be perhaps placed in and around your crew. they would be a fresh source of information. Depending on where your ship goes next, I have various contacts among various of the ships that have come and gone in the sector. So I have a somewhat of a network, but that depends on where you are headed next.
I'll pass my intelligence test on a reroll.
Yeah, I see that. So I'm going to send you a message, Johnny.
Cool.
While they respond. So.
You're a spy master.
So this is I go by many names. Spy Master is perhaps one of the more complimentary.
I know.
If
I
I've
know
been
about.
called.
I know about going by many names. Believe me.
So, one question though. Obviously, you move ship to ship, place to place, gather information about where you are, and then sell it on. You'd be doing the same about our ship, then, wouldn't you?
And he looks you straight in the eye, and Arnold, there's something about his stare. You know, you're used to men, especially men who, because he's not as big as you or strong. He doesn't seem
Used to
especially
men.
strong. You're being fuck off, Dave. You're being a knob tonight, Dave. So you're used to men who are like to be somewhat intimidated by you because you're a big guy, and you also there's this kind of low level of threat that you always have running behind you, Arnold. But when he looks at you, there doesn't seem to be any fear there, and he looks at you and
I
goes,
wasn't trying to scare him.
No. But what I mean is, even if you're not trying to scare him, you are, a large,
Scary guy.
you're a
big
guy.
scary guy.
Especially so because you are, and also since you've started dabbling with demon axes and stuff, that's become more, there's been more of a kind of a latent level threat behind you, an edge, exactly. Thanks, Johnny. So when he looks at you and he says, "Why, yes, of course I have been paying attention to you since you have arrived, and of course I would be lying if I said I have not sold various parts of information about your comings and goings to other people. In fact, you have been quite profitable to me. I must tell you that you should always assume that all of your comings and goings upon the station should be treated as being watched. Even if it was not me, it would be someone else."
That's answer enough for me. You let's make of it what you will.
So, if you were in our employ, would you still be selling information on us?
No, of course that would be preposterous. This would be an exclusive, more of an exclusive arrangement.
And what guarantees do you have for us that you would be trustworthy in such a manner?
Again, he looks at you now, Quintus, and he smiles, and he doesn't, wave with the eye contact or anything, and he says, "What guarantees do any of us have? Surely it is me who is more at risk to come on board your ship." I have some requirements. Of course, an initial fee of 220,000 thrones, and a weekly. Where am I? Just 1 second. Let me check my. Sorry, guys. And a weekly salary of 45,000 thrones. There may also be additional costs for certain. If I need to get certain information out of various contacts, there may be additional costs. I would need some autonomy. I would need obviously a decent room. It would need to be one of your best rooms. And help.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I thought his name is Riviera. I need your help to put my agents into board your crew. I would also need access to your medical facilities, some minor precursors.
Perfect cover for a saboteur.
I mean, we've
My
already
red
got
flag.
plenty of them, so...
One more couldn't hurt. Especially
Are you saying that, or are you?
No.
Okay.
It's an interesting proposition, Mr. Riviera.
Oh, sorry, no, it was. And he says, "I assure you, obviously there is very little for me to go on. It's not as if I can bring upon references, but you do understand it requires a certain amount of confidence to even come and make this this offer to you. And as I say again, it is me who is the most at risk once I put myself on board your ship.
You said you have sold information about us already. Have you sold
Yes,
it to
of
the
course.
Styrics?
You must understand, of course, that I have certain. I'm trying to think of the word here now; it eludes me. When I trade in information to various people, I cannot then go and sell on that I cannot go and then tittle tattle about who I have sold to and who I haven't. You understand, of course.
Customer client confidentiality.
I thank you, Johnny. That's exactly the words that were eluding me. So yes, I have certain responsibilities and a certain code of honour that I must adhere to.
Of course, I would expect
course.
no less. Yes.
But you're an intelligent man. You might assume that all of the interested parties on board this station are constantly dealing in information. So if it was not me, it would be someone else.
Yes, I'm sure it would. But it's not.
So
is
why-
it, Mr. Riviera? It's you.
Almost certainly is.
And he fixes you with a little smile and he says, "Of course, I would not be at liberty to say."
And I would imagine, of course, that since you have information on us that I'm sure you have sold on to other parties, you would also have information on other parties aboard this ship that you might be willing to sell to someone like me.
Yes, of course. That is my trade, my business.
Well, in that case, Mr. Riviera, this has been a very interesting conversation, and I'll be in touch by the end of the day.
He smiles, and there's something slightly uncomfortable about his smile, but also something perhaps reassuring. I mean, in order to take on such a role requires a certain level of confidence that might border upon the sociopathic, let us say.
Yes, takes one to know one.
So with that, this guy, you've basically got a couple of options there. You can buy information on a case by case basis, or you can take him on. It's quite expensive, but it's for only one guy, or it's actually a small team. But you can actually take him on as a permanent contract as well. So your two options for this guy.
He could be useful.
That guy's.
That's the security service for Yuri.
I mean,
I'm going to
he's
say
getting paid more than me. I could do his job.
You what? Sorry, Hayden.
I just said he gets paid more than me. I could do his job. Well, employ me. I'll do the same job for the same money.
I'm just going to pat
I'll find
Arnie on the
myself-
shoulder.
Hey, I could employ some Orpheans to mix in with the crew and be my little birds. Yeah, remember, I'm a massive recruitment drive.
Yeah, but the Orpheans, Arnold, they don't exactly blend in very well, do they? They all have that strange swampy smell. They stand out like an extra sore thumb.
Yeah, well,
It's something to
Same.
consider. I'm fobbing him off because I'd like to discuss it amongst ourselves in private before we make a decision about. I've had a few thoughts. We do know there's saboteurs and mutinous ne'er-do-wells.
So we're
aboard the vessel.
basically going to outsource the mutiny to these guys to figure out for us.
Yeah.
They could be a good source of information, not just on what's going on our own ship in this instance, but in the future. They might know stuff about other planets we come across. He might know information about the two other planets that we haven't learned anything about yet. There's all sorts we could do with him. He could be useful. It's just whether we want to buy a bit of info or employ him, which is pricey. I'm not against the idea of hiring this guy.
But if we hire him, are we then paying piece by piece for everything that he tells us as well? Or
No,
do we
no.
get
He
some-
said if
No,
we
it's
But he
hire
explained.
him-
I mean, basically explained there could be extra costs. It depends on what the information is and whether it costs him additionally to
okay.
get it. So, but he's not going to charge you for each piece of information as well as hiring him, because that's kind of why you're hiring him.
I imagine if we hire him and we can then go, tell us about this planet, tell us about this planet, tell us about this planet, and he'll tell us what he knows. But if there's something he doesn't know, he'll off to get it. It might cost him some money because things cost money.
Yeah.
That's
If
exactly.
you can't afford to pay him, you can always kill him and take his money.
we don't need his money. We want his information. And dead men tell no tales, Hayden. We've been over
May
this.
as well kill him.
Yeah, and
right
I
now.
will also say, here's a guy. He's clearly very confident in himself. So,
I think he's the real deal, personally.
Yeah.
He could be useful. It's just whether we want to spend that much money on him.
It would help us in our campaign when we're lost.
It will help us in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, like as gaming potential, it would be a massive help for us. This is the guy which is actually buying us inside info when we're stuck.
Yeah, not just that. He's a local to these here parts. I imagine he's either a well-travelled man or he's just a very well-informed man. And we are neither. We don't know much about this place, this entire sector of space, and he does. And if he doesn't know, he can find out.
Even though it looks like it should be on like a Sega in 1999 beat 'em up.
I can always rely on you, Hayden. Pick fault with anything, any map, any portrait. I rely upon you.
Anyone,
any picture, anyone,
anything,
anywhere.
anywhere.
Can be relied upon anytime.
Oh, you should see the level of trolls my children are. It makes me pale.
It's the apple never falls far from the tree. So
it's me and Liz are both a little bit trolly, and it's like our troll combined.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll palm him off for now. We'll have a proper discussion at some point about the mercenaries and this guy, and make some decisions.
Okay, guys. So if you've got nothing more to discuss, I think I'm going to leave today's game here. This will be the end of day 2 for Cell 53. If there's anything else you wanted to do, kind of the evening of the ship, like there will be no more opportunity to speak with the major traders and what have you. It's the evening of day 2. So if there's anything else you want to do, like that's not that important, we can do stuff like play by text, and then we're going to let this timeline catch up to where Cell 54 or Cell 54 already on to day 3. So then we'll move on to day 3 for Cell 53 as well. If there's anything you want to do in the evening that's nothing major, we can do that via play by text. Yeah.
Well, Annie's going to go to the bar on the evening of this.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do. If that's fine, mate. If there's any, that's all well and good. And I'll add a tab. I mean, how are you paying for this, by the way? Because the drinks are very expensive. Are you?
Oh, it's on the Malevolent tab.
Is that what you're going to say? Okay.
It's on Quintius. I'm going to get Quintius's permission before I go there because it's like Daddy's credit card. I'll be like, you lot get a new suit. Pay for a few fucking drinks.
Fuck it, I'm going to go with Arnie. If he's going to spend Daddy's money on beer, I'm going with him.
That's fine. That's all I'm good. So, but we can do anything you want to do in the evening of day 2, Cell 53. We can do via play by text. We'll leave today's game there. That's all the bits I wanted to do.
Dave, let's play by text to Wild Night on the ship.
That's what?
Play by text to Wild Night on the ship.
I'll add a new text channel called Party Time.
Yeah. See what happens to us.
Okay, guys. So thank you for tonight's little short game. And
embryos, you do realise you go about it.
Oh yeah, nothing. But I'll have to think about what may happen. But yeah, I think
that's just one suggestion.
That's a good idea, Johnny. Let me write that down. Cheers, mate. Okay. Cool. So,
I love slipping in evil ideas from Arnie. Obviously, it's how I've played Arnie always, but I just do love slipping in. Like why don't we take the planet by force and enslave them? Make them work on a ship.
enslave.
Save stuff a bunch of cost. Take the technology. We've got some extra orcs. If they're struggling with the force they got, that bit of extra reinforcements would bring with 3 orcs. Honestly, it would tip the balance and our ship bombarding them.
Down with the orcs.
Yeah.
Maybe we could pay the orcs to go and shit on the dog people.
I mean, that was something I was considering at one point because I do have a big fucking issue with those dog people. Yeah.
Yes, that sounds like a perfect thing to do with the orcs. It says, I can't take command of the ship. but I want you to do a mission, and I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah.
When those
In
fuckers leave
teeth.
port,
Yeah, with the
yeah,
spare
in teeth, and I'll pay them up front. I'll say, if I haven't heard an Attack of the Dog Boys, I will come and hunt you down myself, lads. It'd be a proper fight. You'll love it.
Alright. I mean,
so, yeah.
sounds like a win-win to me, but
Yeah, I like the idea of that. I think we should do that, definitely.
Yeah, I think
Spin-off game!
as we leave ship, as we leave port, we get the orcs to attack the dog boys as they leave.
That actually,
Yeah.
that'd be a perfect new campaign for Hayden to run, wouldn't it? We all play orcs just killing dog embryo people.
I could do that. I could do
group
like
of orc freebooters murdering dog embryo people. That's a very Hayden themed campaign.
Do you reckon we could get that like published as a system?
Well, there are
dog
rules. There are rules in the Rogue Trader, one of the Rogue Trader expansions for orc freebooters.
Yeah. Well, like all my games, it'd be more like playing Hero Quest with with roleplay involved, which basically my games are like playing Hero Quest with roleplay. I realised this when I've been doing my maps.
Surely it'd be more like Space Crusade.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man. That's a step up.
times that dreadnought, man, that was a thing of beauty back in there. I don't know why it hasn't stood up to test of time, but something very special about it at the time. I don't know why.
It was always a thing of beauty and terror because it's kind of slightly fucked up looking.
Yep. But yeah, it could be like Ed 209, isn't it?
Yeah, the old Ed 209. I watched all the horrific was it RoboCop
Special
2?
effects.
So like, well, no, the horrific
when they
RoboCop
bring
2,
out
like,
the alternative
one
RoboCop.
shoots all the people, then shoots them off the head, and the other one comes off and just rips his helmet off and screams.
Yeah. Fucking insane.
Yeah, it's funny.
Proper sci-fi, man. Like the thing.
Yeah, proper sci-fi.
The thing and everything being made out of real pig flesh.
Exactly.
I've never seen the thing. I should watch it.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
quality,
It's passed me by.
Kurt Russell at his
that one.
finest.
Is it? All right. Yeah, it's one that passed me by. The fact.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
It's fucked up.
Did you ever play the video game about 20 years ago that was like a direct sequel to the original?
I didn't know.
It was really good. It was like they just announced it as the Thing video game, and about 6 weeks before it came out, it was revealed, because it was before the internet was so big. It was revealed that it was literally a direct sequel, and it had like John Carpenter involved and stuff like that, and nobody knew about it. And it literally picked up from the very end of the film. Like, literally, the opening scene was the end of the film, and it was fucking fantastic. You're, like, creeping around in this Arctic base, hearing, like, just these gurgling noises as some fucking weird dog, pig, embryo monster slurps about in the drains behind you and stuff. It was fantastic.
It's just like massive spawndom, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like...
And you had a flamethrower that had the worst flame graphics on any game ever, but it was fantastic. Right, I'm gonna go to bed because I'm fucking knackered.
Yeah. I'll say that's cheers.
Like, guys, I'm hanging around for 5-10 minutes if anybody's about.
So I'm gonna
nice time.
Cool, man. I'm glad you had a good game, and you did make it through, mate. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
it's nice to introduce you into the game as well. So,
Drop down for a bit, mate. Just some nice tank.
Cool. Nice one, man. But yeah, it's nice to introduce your new character into the game as well. So
Yeah,
I'm pleased Ronnie hasn't nuked him yet.
yeah, I did like telling James, if he does anything wrong at all, please feel free to please consider him absolutely expendable. I did.
I don't want to tame Yarn with just casual murder because it would have been too easy to.
Too easy. No. But that's more to keep Hayden in check.
Basis.
Really, it's like if he gets too trolly, just fucking
James, if you want him
out of an airlock, please.
If you want him, summarily executed, just give the word. I'll happily do it.
I am James's loyal servant in this character. He's basically I can map that out for you, sir. I know of a bit of information here, sir. I can help you with this test, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Let's go, sir. Thank you for the bet, sir.
It's not a troll, honest, sir.
Did I hear you right that he's unsanctioned?
No,
I
it's
mean,
been sanctioned
Ginger.
by
Oh yeah, I mean, he's been. I
thingy,
mean,
but
basically,
not
there's.
by the Emperor's grace, but through pain.
I mean, that's so he's unsanctioned. So
It's not. It's had sanctioning. It's on my character sheet. It's had sanctioning.
if he's
No,
not
he's had Jagger sanctioning.
if he has not been
Jagger
the Holy
Yeah.
Terror, he has not been sanctioned. It's as simple
No,
as
he
that.
hasn't.
He has not been to
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
Terror. I assure you, he's not been to Holy Terror. I assure you.
He's had some.